Article 2285 of the Constitution of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, the control of budget shall not approve any withdrawal from a public fund unless satisfied that the withdrawal is authorized by law, Honorable Speaker. All the monies that are going to the county government of Nyamira, be it the county assembly or be it the county executive, Honorable Speaker, the control of budget must be satisfied. That is the leading of the law, Honorable Speaker. It's not me who wrote this constitution, Honorable Speaker. If anything, I'm just a farmer. There are many even better advocates in this house, Honorable Speaker. The control of budget must be satisfied. That is what the law is saying, must be satisfied. Article 2285, the control of budget shall not approve any withdrawal from a public fund unless satisfied that the withdrawal is authorized by law. So the monies that are going to the county government of Nyamira, be it the county executive, be it the county assembly, the control budget must say that I am satisfied 100% that these withdrawals that are happening at the county revenue fund are backed by the law. So it is a defeatist argument, Honorable Speaker. It is a very defeated argument by the chairman of the devolution committee to come and say that the control budget said that he is helpless. It is not true. It is not true, Honorable Speaker. Requisitions that are coming from the county assembly are never prepared by the CEC for finance. That is not true. Requisitions are prepared by the clerk. The accounting officer of the county assembly is not the CEC, Honorable Speaker. It is the clerk of the county assembly. So therefore, if indeed there is money that is being withdrawn by the impeached speaker, and we have been told again, Honorable Speaker, and many people want to say, oh, there is politics, there's a group that is aligned to the governor, there's another group that is aligned to where it doesn't matter. The matter has been brought to the Senate. It is for us to decide out of these two groups, which is the legitimate group, Honorable Speaker, so that the other group, Honorable Speaker, cannot continue withdrawing this money. Honorable Speaker, tell me, if some people are sitting in a corner and they call themselves a county assembly, they have no legitimacy. There is no court order that the speaker, or there is no conservatory orders that stayed the impeachment of the speaker, Honorable Speaker. How, therefore, does the speaker continue withdrawing money from the county revenue fund, Honorable Speaker? There is no explanation that the Committee on Devolution can give to this House, Honorable Speaker, and they don't require even to go to Nyamira. What are they going to do to Nyamira? I want to ask, like Senator Wambua, is Senator Okongo Omogen so inaccessible that we have to go and look for him at Nyamira? What does the governor have to do in determination of a matter as to who is the legitimate county assembly of Nyamira, Honorable Speaker? So therefore, I am disappointed, where I support, in fact, had we not gotten this amendment from Senator Ojenda, that report of the Committee on Devolution, in my opinion, was completely underwhelming. It was very underwhelming, Honorable Speaker. Had we not gotten this amendment from Senator Ojenda, Honorable Speaker, I don't think we have done justice to the people of Nyamira, to the County Assembly of Nyamira, because the people who hold the primary responsibility of oversight, Honorable Speaker, is the County Assembly. It's not even the Senate. The people who hold the primary responsibility on oversight, it is the County Assembly. If the County Assembly cannot play their oversight role on the County Executive, therefore, Honorable Speaker, even the reports that we shall be looking at the County CPIC of Senator Sosa Kajwang,
yes, Senator Margaret Kamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this interim report. Mr. Speaker, may I confirm to the House that I'm a member of this committee and that I was present actually when we interviewed the team that came from Nyamira. Mr. Speaker, as Senator Tangwa said before you were stopped, we are dealing with two groups which were illegal, and I think we made those observations. Illegal in the sense that the original speaker was suspended, but there is nothing called suspension. So the members of the assembly were wrong to do the suspension. That was the first thing that we noted. The second thing is that they seem to have noted that because after suspending and crudely ejecting the speaker, they were called to go to court and they went to apologize. It was after the apology, Mr. Speaker, that they came back and did the right thing to impeach. Mr. Speaker, according to the standing orders of Nyamira, which are like our own standing orders, the Assembly has a right to impeach. During the impeachment, Mr. Speaker, actually they even invited the Speaker and allowed Okero to take care of himself, to defend himself. And after the defense, after it was done procedurally, he was actually impeached procedurally. What happened, which surprised the committee, is the fact that in the point of being impeached, this speaker who had been impeached went to court, and when he was given a small brief, although there was no ruling, because we went through the court statements, and there was nothing to give a stay, he actually took advantage and suspended the clerk. And that is how he came up with his own clerk, and the parallel group started emerging. At the same time, after the assembly, if you read the report, after the assembly had suspended, had actually impeached successfully, according to the standing orders, the speaker, they elected the deputy speaker to be the speaker. Remember, Mr. Speaker, the deputy speaker is a member of the county assembly. So we are dealing with another illegality, because he was elected when he was still an MCA. So again, we have served as a committee that we are dealing with two illegal leaders. The impeached speaker started holding his meetings because he could not be allowed to come to the premises by the MCS who had elected their own speaker. Now, if you look at the recommendation, and I want to go straight to the recommendation so that the committee is not misblamed or blamed for the things that they didn't do. If you read our observations properly, we have brought issues out. But if you go to the recommendation itself, we made a recommendation, Mr. Speaker, and I dare say I'm the one who laid the report in this House on the 17th of April. We are being blamed for 45 days, but actually we brought this report in 17 days. 17th of April is when I laid the report on the table. It is this House that delayed, so the 45 days don't belong to us. We did our work within 17 days, we laid a report, and we are waiting for our recommendations to be either accepted or rejected. These meetings should have taken place soon after the 17th. So for that reason, Senator Mogeni, and they are disrupting him now, it should come out very clearly that since we laid the report on the table of the House on the 17th of April, we cannot talk about 45 days. We gave our report on time. Now, after giving the report on time, we gave two very strong recommendations, which nobody is referring to in this House. Please don't blame the committee for what they did not do. What did we say? In recommendation number 1, we said pursuant to section 7B2 of the County Governments Act Gazette, whatever, the sitting of the county assembly be held at the county assembly premises. That was what we agreed. The second one.
Give the senator 1 minute to conclude.
Please give me 1 minute, because I'm a member of the committee and I want to clarify two things. That is what we agreed as a committee. That's what we accepted. We wanted this House on the 17th to come and rule on, because if you had accepted, this communication should have gone to Nyamira, and the people of Nyamira should have been, the Assembly of Nyamira should have been in the right venue. Number 2 was that pending the determination of the court cases, the County Assembly resumes its normal operations in accordance with the Constitution. What is the Constitution? The Constitution is to use the right venue, and the MCAs have a right to follow the standing orders. In the standing orders, Mr. Speaker, there are two things that are very clear. Number 1, in absence of the speaker, because they didn't have a speaker, all the two of them were not had already been dismissed in our observations. They could actually have a member of the speaker's panel. So they had a right to move to the right venue and continue until we go back, because we wanted to visit and clear this thing with the assembly. In fact, we are not talking of going to see a governor. A governor has nothing to do with the county assembly. It is only a pity that the Comptroller of Budget was put in a very awkward situation, because the Comptroller of Budget came out clearly and said, it's ended.
Your 1 minute is up, Senator Kamar. Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I've also to support the report from the Committee on Devolution with amendments. Honorable Speaker, I've had a number of colleagues spoke to this report, and I want to say, Honorable Speaker, this is a house that is being waited by the entire country to give directives to the Assembly in question in terms of how best they can discharge their mandate. Honorable Speaker, I would also want to congratulate the Honorable Senator from Nyamira County, Honorable Omugen, for taking lead in making sure that he assists the committee in terms of getting a lasting solution. But, Honorable Speaker, there are a number of questions that are running through my mind. One is that, Honorable Speaker, we don't have a cap in terms of statutory instruments that are supposed to guide us on where the Assembly is supposed to be sitting. That is one. Number two, Honorable Speaker, we don't have a cap in terms of directing the control of budget in terms of remittance of the monies to the assemblies. We don't have a cap. The statutory instruments are there. It is well stipulated. The only problem that we have in this country is the implementation part. We will keep blaming each other. We are blaming the assembly. We are blaming the two groups within the county assembly. We are blaming the Senate. We are blaming the committee. The blames are all over. Yet we have the instruments that can assist us in making sure that things work the right way. Honorable Speaker, a number of colleagues have spoken. This is a problem that is going to split over to the 47 counties. Remember, we are a house that are supposed to set a precedence that is going to be followed in any other day. Such an occurrence is seen, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, by so saying, I want to stand with the amendments that has been suggested by Honorable Ojenda. But I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that despite the fact that we are saying it was tabled on 17th, it has taken time. I would want to see, Honorable Speaker, an instruction by the Senate committee instructing the counties to do what is right. These blame games should stop. We are using public resources. We are mistreating the members of the public. We are crying day and night about the prudent use of the resources. It is high time that this Senate wakes up and do what is entailed to do. Honorable Speaker, it has been a blame game. Despite the issues that the committee is supposed to move to the ground, I was waiting to see a number of recommendations that are supposed to be undertaken by the county assembly. That is the only way out, Honorable Speaker. We are not talking here to please one another. We are not just talking because we want to debate. We don't want just to be seen because we are a Senate House that is in charge of devolution. We need to see actions taken. We need to see a serious recommendation by the committee to make sure that things work the right way. So I don't want to say much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to say that I would ask the committee to still relook at this thing. Let's work. 45 days is a long day. This is something that needs to have a time frame because it is affecting the members of the county assembly, it's affecting the residents of Nyamira County, it's affecting the name of the Senate and the role of the Senate. Thank you, Honorable
What's your
Speaker.
point of order, Senator Mungatano?
I really didn't want to intervene, Mheshimiwa Joyce, because she's a great senator. But Mr. Speaker, is she in order factually under 105 to suggest that the report stayed for 45 days, yet a member of this committee has clarified that they tabled it within 17 days and they acted very swiftly. And it is this House and the SBC that did not bring it for debate. And now they have changed everything to say it's 45 days, the committee, they have crucified them unfairly. And I thank Professor Kamar for bringing the truth to this House, Mr. Speaker. Is she in order?
Senator Senator Joyce Korir, before you proceed, I will allow you to proceed. But the point of order raised by Senator Mungatana is a valid point of order. Senator Kamar was the speaker just before you rose up, and she clarified on the matter of 45 days. And I think it was for the benefit of the House, and it was to guide the House, not to keep referring to the 45 days as something that was done by the committee. So could you please withdraw that and continue with the submission?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I will not withdraw. And the reason why I will not withdraw this, Honorable Speaker, is because the report is a progressive report. It's not a concluded report. It's still it's a progressive report. If it was a concluded report, then, Honorable Speaker, I would have withdrawn. It means the matter is still even taking more time than expected.
Yes, Honorable Senator Joyce Korir, the fact of the matter is that this matter was sent to the committee on 1st of April. And on 17th of April, they came back to the House to make a progress report. And then thereafter, we went for recess. So 45 days have not actually lapsed. In that order, the point of order that Senator Mungatana rose on and the clarification that was given by Senator Professor Kamar would have guided you in not falling into that trap of 45 days. So I would ask you, and don't say you will not withdraw, because this is the order of the chair. If you don't withdraw, I will find you grossly out of order, and you might face the same fate as Senator Eddy faced this morning. So Senator Joyce Korir. Senator Joyce Korir.
Hope, Honorable Speaker, is not a threat.
No, I was guiding you. I was guiding you, even with the tone.
It's a guide, but not
it's a guide,
it's not
yes,
a threat, Honorable
yes.
Speaker. Yeah, what I just want to say that I will withdraw the 45 days, but still, Honorable Speaker, that the only thing that has given life to this report is the amendment by Honorable Agenda. That is the only thing. Yeah. That is the thing.
Thank you, Senator Joyce. Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some brief comments on this report, which is highly unprecedented. We are faced with a challenge which really, legally, it's an issue that can be resolved very, very easily. Mr. Speaker, the process of moving funds to a county assembly are clearly defined in the Public Finance Management Act. If you read Section 1 of 3 of the Public Finance Management Act, it sets up treasury of the county assembly. 104 puts or places the CCM finance as the head of the treasury. This is the person who communicates and deals with the control of budget. All these problems we are facing, and I've taken some time to try and understand because I've looked at the recommendations, but the recommendations given by the committee do not solve the problem. These are interim recommendations that do not provide a solution to the problem that we're having in Nyamira County. Mr. Speaker, this is an issue of a fiduciary responsibility. My brother from Nyandarua attempted to guide this House in an area where we should be actually looking at it. And I hope that the committee members were listening keenly because the distinguished senator from Nyandarua was actually leading this House to where we should be able to resolve this problem. When we have a county that has got 2 assemblies, we first of all ask our questions, what is our role as the Senate? We are the House that is supposed to protect devolution. But when you have 2 assemblies, then the issues of, 1, lack of accountability, or the issue of a fiduciary responsibility arises. I've taken some time and I've consulted with the area senator, who has clearly explained to me where the problem is. We have 2 assemblies. We have one with 12 members. We have another one with 22 members. The 12 members, the 22 members attempted to impeach, attempted to impeach the governor. When they could not succeed in impeaching the governor, now the governor now decided, I'm going to deal with these 22 MCAs. Then when he was going to deal with the 22 MCAs, the 22 MCAs decided to impeach the speaker. Now the speaker went to court. When the speaker went to court, he said that these 22 MCAs had not met the threshold. He was not given a stay. So when he was not given a stay, legally speaking, you cannot proceed. You are impeached. That is it. So, Mr. Speaker, when you follow the process, and this is why I'm saying there's a lot of collusion, and it is about time that we try to figure out where this collusion is coming from. Because if you have 2 clerks, before an assembly is funded, their money is tied to the exchequer, which is being released to the county assemblies. Before that money is released, the CCM finance, who is the head of treasury of that county assembly, is the one who has got to release her from C so that the money can then now be sent to the assembly. So we are finding a situation here, Mr. Speaker, where there is either incompetence in the part of the CCM finance, and I wish Senator Kajwang was here. Because when you read the Public Finance Management Act, I think Section 99, there are serious consequences that befall anyone who violates the PFM Act. 199. So here is it's a very simple process that we need to be able to proceed with. And Mr. Speaker, instead of beating about the bush and giving recommendation that really will not solve this problem, we should go to the bottom line. Why is the CCM finance issuing from C to send money to people sitting in a place which is gazetted by an impeached speaker? That is where the problem is. So what we should do right now is very simple. If this Senate cannot be able to pass a resolution and make sure that resolution is implemented, other agencies should be able to move expeditiously and make arrests. The controller budget should also not be releasing money because the law, Article 2, is it 226, subsection 5? 225, subsection 6, one of the two, mandates her to release the money only when she's satisfied that that money is authorized by law. So, Mr. Speaker, just 30 seconds, because this issue is very key. So it is important. Otherwise, we will not be able to solve this problem, Mr. Speaker. We will be going back and forth. Things will not be implemented. You know, things will not be implemented. What we need to do is very clearly summon the devolution committee should work closely. Or we should actually set up an ad hoc committee. Set up an ad hoc committee. The first thing we need to do is to make sure that we use Article 125 of the Constitution and summon the governor here to appear with the CCM finance. And at the same time, also ensure that we've summoned the controller of budget so that we bring sanity to this matter. Otherwise,
Your 30 seconds are up, Senator. Senator Sigei Hillary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the motion as amended. And from the very onset, Mr. Speaker, I would like to, first of all, defend the committee. The committee that was involved in this particular question has been bashed by members over allegations that they have taken more than 45 days, which is not true. And, Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, I have been going through the Hansard. The question, or rather the statement, was sought by Senior Counsel Okonko Mogeni on the 1st of April, and a preliminary report was tabled on 17th of April. That is barely 17 days. And interestingly, Mr. Speaker, this is what the Hansard said, and I want to quote what Senator Okonko Mogeni on that particular day said. And I wish the chairperson of committee was in the House, because he and his members ought equally to be defended for what is good they have done and are blamed for the delays that, if any, have caused. Senator Mogeni confirmed that indeed, Mr. Speaker, it is a progress report on the operational and leadership crisis affecting the County Assembly of Nyamira. I rose on a point of order on 1st of April and sought the indulgence of the committee to deal with 4 issues. I have had the opportunity to peruse through, and I thank the chairperson of the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee and his members for the attention they gave this matter and for the speed at which they have tabled the report before the House. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee members. However, I further want to give an indication and an appreciation to the Senator for Kisumu, because if the report as was tabled earlier on by the chairperson was as it were, then it would not have served the purpose of the statement that was sought by Senator from Nyamira County. And the reason is as black as white. It was not reflective of the concerns that were raised. And this is one of the issues, Mr. Speaker, that led to the concern that the Senator on that particular day sought the intervention of the Speaker, and 2 issues were referred to the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, which issues substantially will have been dealt if this report were to be adopted today by the amendment that has been sought by Senator Ojenda, which amendment has been adopted, and it is this which we are debating. So the committee did what they could do in the circumstances of that, and in terms of time, they had done their best. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the amendment has indeed given life to the report, and that is why we are supporting, because the question that had been sought by Senator Omogeni are threefold. And if we were to approve, which I support that we approve the report as amended, the issue as to the legality of the sittings by a version of the assembly which is outside the presence of the gazetted parliament, or rather assembly, is null and void. And secondly, in terms of the speaker who was impeached, It doesn't matter whether he has managed to challenge the impeachment proceedings or not. The fact of the matter is that, Mr. Speaker, the Speaker, upon being impeached, went to court. He was unable to secure an injunction, and therefore he cannot in any way purport to sit. Whether he gazetted the way he purported to gazette 3 sitting places, and he christened them sittings machinani in actually 4 words, that in itself is legal, and whatever proceedings that transpired in those sittings are illegal. And therefore, even as we ask that the report should affirm the nullity of those sittings, it is upon the Speaker of the House who is supposed to be sitting to ensure that those proceedings are declared a nullity. Mr. Speaker, lastly, because of the aspect which has been raised by the members, we are dealing with 2 assemblies, and the chairperson of this committee alleged that the controller of budget indicated that she received requisitions. Senator Medhu has tried actually to run us through the process of requisition of funds from the controller of budget and the approval of such funds. There is highly likelihood that there is collusion between the office of the controller of budget and the legal team that is sitting in the assembly. And that is a very important and serious issue that this House must delve into, even as we attempt to resolve this issue. And I agree with Senator Olekina that besides the
Your time is up, Senator. We're running out of time. Please indulge me. Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And just to say, I'm a member, the Vice Chair of the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. I'd like to support the motion as amended and to bring it to the attention of the House that it is important that we get the record right. I would like to urge every member to read the report fully and look at the observations. If you look at observation number 10.7, actually speaks to the nullity or the illegality of the county assembly sittings that were done outside of the correct place. And that is part of what Honorable Senator Ojenda has brought in place. The only observation that is not there is around the ethics and anti-corruption, bringing in the ethics and anti-corruption. And this was because the committee resolved to actually go to Nyamira to find out what is happening on the ground. And as it did so, we were aware that it has a myriad of cases before the courts, and we are also cognizant of the need for some of those cases to be resolved. So, Honorable Chair, I think some of the people who have spoken here have not even made reference to any of the observations that we made, but have proceeded to actually erroneously bash the committee on what it has said. Honorable Speaker, as I finalize, it is also important to state that the report was tabled, and it is the House Business Committee that has put it for today, scheduled it for today. And the day the report was tabled, the Honorable Senator for Nyamira was not very satisfied, and he actually asked the Honorable Speaker to refer the legal matters to the Jailer Committee. The Jailer Committee, you will agree with me that every observation in our report is actually a legal matter. So even as the committee is preparing to go to Nyamira, you can see JLAC is also preparing to look at this matter, and I would request that all of us converge and understand that there is not one committee that does not want to get to the bottom of the truth on this matter. And as a House, we need to converge and do what we have to do, respecting matters that are before the courts and doing what we are able to do in order to help this matter to move. Honorable Speaker, as a decision is made and the report is adopted, you might want to guide the Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations whether it is continued plan, its planned activities to finalize this issue are still valid given the comments that we have heard from colleagues. I support the report and I will stop there for the time being. Thank you.
Senator
For giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support the report as amended. Mr. Speaker, as much as we fight for semi-autonomous of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker, we don't encourage this kind of behavior for this county assembly. Mr. Speaker, sitting outside the gazetted area for county assembly is illegal. Mr. Speaker, I went through the reports, but the report is only showing which has been given by the Senator Kisumu. The amendments, the reports will have been having no other actions. But when it is amended, it has a bit of action which can be taken action. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of facilitation of funds, Mr. Speaker, the controller of budgets we cannot stop the blame to the controller of budget. There is also CM, which is the approver and the releaser of the fund to the county assembly. Mr. Speaker, when they do the bunge mashinani, before even gazetted, it must be passed through motions by county assembly, so that there must be concurrency, that there must be a bunge mashinani. After that, the gazetting must be done. Mr. Speaker, with those, if there is no concurrency on the county assembly, and without that, there is illegal for the bunge mashinani to take place. Mr. Speaker, as the action has concluded, we need to investigate on misappropriation of fund. Mr. Speaker, we send the money for proper use, not for the political parties fighting each other to divide county assembly for their own agenda so that they can benefit one way or another. Mr. Speaker, to avoid this, the committee of JLAC and the devolution must have a stand. They are not supposed to give us the progressive report the way they did. They must have a concrete action for these matters to come to an end. Mr. Speaker, if we leave it like that, what's going on in county assembly is they will get an example of this Nyamira, and other 47 counties might practice on such kind of. To avoid this, the two committees which has been given the committed to work on this motion, they must take a very strict forward for the action to take place. Mr. Speaker, with these remarks, I support the report. Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, yeah, I was almost going to depict a character that is not mine, because I only realized that my lights had gone off, but and because I think Senator Eddy should just stick to his seat, because the day has not been very favorable around him. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this progress report with the amendments as approved, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, from the word onset, I want to say that the Nyamira County Assembly is a crime scene, Honorable Speaker. What is happening there is unacceptable. Honorable Speaker, when we reflect back to the role of the Senate is here to represent the counties and to serve to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Madam Speaker, I am a teacher, and there has long been this thinking around the leadership of schools. We used to say that the school is as good as the head, and the head is as good as the school. And Honorable Speaker, I want to relate this to the county government of Nyamira. Honorable Madam Speaker, Nyamira county government has head of a government. And how Nyamira is run reflects on this head of government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the county assemblies perform constitutional functions, that is oversight, representation, and legislation. And Madam Speaker, they do this on behalf of the people that elected them. And as we sit here, Madam Speaker, with the kind of scenario that is in Nyamira, it means that the people of Nyamira are not adequately being represented. It means, Madam Speaker, to me, that the executive, the county government of Nyamira is not adequately being oversighted. And Madam Speaker, it means that the people of Nyamira are suffering. Madam Speaker, there is separation of powers. We have the executive of Nyamira and we have the legislature. Madam Speaker, why I call it a crime scene, it has been brought out in the report that we have an impeached speaker, Madam Speaker. And when one is impeached, it means they are out of office. I do not accept, Madam Speaker, that an officer that is impeached can have gazette notices. Madam Speaker, where does the speaker that is impeached get the powers to send gazette notices? And Madam Speaker, there is literally a confusion that is by design to me set out in the Nyamira County Assembly. And the question I ask myself, Madam Speaker, as I rise here, is who is causing this confusion and for what reason, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, I began by saying there's a head of government in Nyamira. What is this head of government doing? Is it by design that this is a governor that does not want to be oversighted, Madam Speaker? Running of a county without a legislative arm of a government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is unacceptable because we know the mandate that the county assembly has, that the county assembly approves budgets, that the county assemblies approve development plans. Madam Speaker, the county assembly vets even county executives, and on a day-to-day, on their functionality, Madam Speaker, there are varied mandates that the county assembly oversees. What then happens if we have a county assembly that is illegal, that is non-functional? And Madam Speaker, I say it is illegal because it is not clear who is running this assembly. Madam Speaker, the county assemblies are definite. We have them referred to as the county assembly.
1 minute for the senator, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to end by saying that, and by talking to the governor of Nyamira, put your house in order and let the county assembly of Nyamira run. Your time will come to an end. Whether you want this assembly not to be disarmed, we are saying as a Senate, things must run in the county assembly of Nyamira so that Nyamira people are served well. Madam Speaker, I want to end by saying that I found the submission of the control of budget as reckless and responsible. This is a state officer that must be in office to serve the people, and Nyamira County is part of the people that she's in office to serve. Madam Speaker, I support.
Senator Mwaruma.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa fursa umenipa ili kuchangia na kuunga mkono moja kwa moja hii ripoti ya kamati kuhusu bunge ama serikali ya Nyamira. Mheshimiwa Spika, hili swala liliibuka wakati gavana wa Nyamira alipokuja kwa kamati ya wahasibu, ambapo tunaketi na seneta wa Nyamira Mheshimiwa Mogeni, na tukagundua ya kwamba kuna mabunge mawili. La kwanza linaloketi katika bunge ya Nyamira iliyo mkabala na nyumba ya KIE, na bunge lingine ambalo linaketi mahali ambapo si pamoja, mahali kwingi ambalo liliitwa bunge mashinani. Ningependa kushukuru Mheshimiwa Okongo Mogeni kwa kuleta hii taarifa ambayo aliuliza maswali matatu. La kwanza ni nyumba gani inayofaa kuketi bunge la Nyamira, ambayo iko katika taarifa ya gazeti la serikali. Ya pili aliuliza, je, ama uhalali wa zile sheria ambazo zinapitishwa na mabunge yote mawili, yakiwemo bajeti ya ziada. Na la tatu aliuliza hii kamiti ya devolution ni njia zipi zilizotumika kuchagua spika na clerk wapya. Mheshimiwa Spika, hii kamati imefanya kazi nzuri, ingewaji imepata mapigo, na Mheshimiwa Spika anajua unaketi katika hiyo kamati. Lakini katika swali la kwanza wamesema kwamba bunge ambalo ni halali ni lile ambalo linaketi mkabala na jumba la KIE huko Nyamira, na ya kwamba ile bunge mashinani ama yale mabunge ambayo yanaenda mashinani hakukuwa na azimio lolote ama resolution yoyote ya bunge la Nyamira. Na la pili, Mheshimiwa Spika, katika swali la uhalali ya zile sheria zinazopitishwa na lile bunge ambalo liko mashinani,
Senator Mogeni,
limejibiwa.
You have an interest in listening when you are talking.
Limejibiwa na ile mabadiliko katika mswada ya kwamba sheria zote zilizopitishwa na lile bunge ambalo si halali, basi zote ziwe si halali, na nakubaliana 100% na hiyo amendment. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwenda mbele, hizo sheria ambazo tunasema si halali zitachukuliwa namna gani? Kwa mfano, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna bajeti ya ziada ama supplementary budget ambayo ilipita na tayari inatumika. Kwenda mbele, zile pesa zinazotumika, je, wale ambao wanatumia zile pesa watachukuliwa hatua aina gani, Mheshimiwa Spika? La tatu ni kwamba Mheshimiwa Spika, Okongo Mogeni alitaja mambo ya Taita Taveta. Ni kweli kuna shida ya lile bunge, ingawaje si kama bunge la Nyamira, kwa sababu Taita Taveta spika alibanduliwa kupitia kwa impeachment, akaenda kotini, na wakati alienda kotini, yule aliyekuwa naibu wa spika saizi ako kama acting speaker. Kitu ambacho ningesema ni kwamba labda tuangalie sheria, ili kukiwa na kesi katika koti itachukua muda gani ili yule ambaye ni naibu wa spika aache kuwa acting speaker. Kwa sababu ile kesi ikichukua muda sana kama ya Nyamira, basi ule mkanganyiko unachukua muda mrefu, na katika katiba ama sheria hakuna acting speaker. Kuna speaker, na wakati speaker ametolewa lazima kuchaguliwa speaker. Kwa hivyo nafikiri hii kamati pia inaweza ingilia mambo ya Taita Taveta, iangalie uhalisia yale mambo ambayo yanaendelea kule Taita Taveta. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga mkono moja kwa moja ya kwamba tume ya maadili na kupigana na ufisadi iingilie ili angalie yale mambo ambayo yanatokea Nyamira, yakiwemo kutolewa pesa na control of budget.
1 minute to finish.
Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker. Kutolewa kwa pesa na control of budget kwenda kwa bunge, na pia waziri wa serikali ya Nyamira kupeana form C na kujaza ili bunge lile lipewe pesa. Kamati ama EACC iingilie kati na iangalie uhalisia na uhalali na maadili yanayotokana na hilo jambo. Mheshimiwa Speaker, naunga mkono hii ripoti, na ni kweli kwamba lazima iwe ni interim kwa sababu bado wanataka kwenda kule ili kuangalia kama wanaweza suluhisha yale mambo yaliyoko kule kisiasa. Nashukuru Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Senator Eddie Okech Gisheru, Senator for Migori County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And on a serious note, I want to thank you for readmission back to the House, recognizing that I was a little bit more passionate about the universal health care, issue that has bedeviled the workers, and sometimes the emotion ran high, but I'm grateful that you have readmitted me that it was not actually really disorderly, but it was just a misunderstanding. And I want to thank you for that, Madam Speaker. That said, Madam Speaker, any county assembly, for you to have requisitions made, we have got a county assembly service board. That county assembly service board, Madam Speaker, gets these requisitions and then writes to the head of the Treasury as established by the County Governments Act. The head of Treasury in the county, Madam Speaker, is the CCM for Finance, who then prepares Form C, signs it, sends it to control of budget. But it doesn't stop there, Madam Speaker. Anything that the County Assembly will request, among others that are sent to the CCM Finance, is also coming from the executive side. And that executive side is the governor. And those issues are canvassed within the assembly, which in this case in Nyamira, it's been found that was the assembly ran by these 12 members of the county assembly in Nyamira. So, Madam Speaker, what we are realizing here is very simple. Because the biggest finding of this report, Madam Speaker, is that these 12 members of the county assembly who call themselves Mashinani team and the impeached speaker were sitting illegally under Section 7B of the County Governments Act. So, Madam Speaker, why are we sugarcoating this issue? There is a criminal enterprise that is running in Nyamira. This is what we must stand by as a house. And this criminal enterprise, Madam Speaker, is constituted of, number one, the governor himself. Because it is him who makes executive decisions that go to the county assembly that is rogue, the 12 members. Then two is the 12 members who are meeting and making these decisions. Number three is the speaker who has been impeached. Number four is the CCM Finance of Nyamira. And number five, Madam Speaker, who must be held liable, is the County Assembly Service Board of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, these people must be arrested. They must be taken to court. And EACC, together with the DCI, must investigate their intention of building this criminal enterprise to siphon money of the public from Nyamira, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I'm informed. I'm not making this statement lightly. I'm informed that the governor of Nyamira is actually the party leader of UPA, which has been shown, time without number, to be fronting a presidential candidate. And it's nothing personal. This is the party that Honorable Matiang'i is going to run with. I don't know whether this money is being siphoned deliberately to finance a presidential campaign for Honorable Matiang'i, Madam Speaker. So this investigation, Madam Speaker, must be done by the EACC, by the DCI, and I can tell you point blank, Madam Speaker, that this is a criminal enterprise.
Senator Eddie.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
I would suggest you don't insinuate anything that you may not be able to substantiate.
I thank you, Madam Speaker, but I'm just saying that there is a deliberate siphoning of fund here. Because all these people cannot be wrong to the extent that even the control of budget claims to be wrong, where the report says that the 22 MCAs have written to Madam Nyakango to inform her that these people are sitting illegally. So you can see that everybody who is mentioned here, Madam Speaker, I am insisting that it's a criminal enterprise because they cannot say that they're ignoring the law right from the County Assembly Service Board all the way to these MCAs. This matter must be treated as such, and we must enhance the amendments of Senator Ojienda to make sure that there is a criminal liability on the heads of these individuals, because that is what it is. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Tobiko. Sorry. Senator Mogeni, sorry.
Madam Speaker, I want to begin by thanking all the senators who have made a contribution towards the motion that is on the floor of the House, Madam Speaker, and I would like to emphasize only two things. Madam Speaker, you are a member of the Devolution Committee, and you know, Mr. Speaker, that even the law that was cited, Madam Speaker, even the law that was cited in gazetting sittings outside the County Assembly premises was lacking in any legal basis. Madam Speaker, the Speaker cited Article 126(1) of the Constitution. And Madam Speaker, you and I know that Article 126(1) makes reference to sittings of Houses of Parliament. And under our Constitution, Madam Speaker, the only Houses of Parliament that are known in this Republic is the National Assembly and the Senate. Issues dealing with sittings of any county assembly outside the gazetted premises is governed by the provisions of Section 2B of the County Government Act, which requires the county assembly to put a motion on the floor, pass a resolution, Madam Speaker, before they proceed to sit in any sittings outside the county assembly gazetted premises. So I agree with the committee, Madam Speaker, when you make a finding at page 29, Roman 7, that any sittings that may have been held contrary to the provisions of Section 7B are invalid and contrary to the law. And I think, Madam Speaker, the amendment of Senator Ojienda is simply to bring that finding of the committee to be part of the interim committee recommendation. So it does not go contrary to the findings of the committee. Two, Madam Speaker, it seems, Madam Speaker, that the county government, the County Assembly of Nyamira, together with the county government of Nyamira, are running a criminal enterprise. There is no way, Madam Speaker, you can use a team of 12 MCAs to sit outside the gazetted premises, pass a budget where you saw the report that was brought by the other 22 MCAs, where, Madam Speaker, it is alleged, and I'm using the word carefully, it's alleged that the governor is supporting some companies that are associated with a certain clique of MCAs that are aligned to him. Madam Speaker, that does not support devolution. You had allegations being made that businesses that are supposed to be done by youths in the county government of Nyamira are being done by companies associated with a clique of a few MCAs. We have a role We have a duty, Madam Speaker. We have an obligation as a Senate to defend devolution and also protect the resources that we send to our counties. I fully agree with the recommendation that have been made by the amendments that were introduced and that have been approved by the House, that EACC, DCI should pitch camp in Nyamira, Madam Speaker. When you see this confusion being created by the governor himself, because he's the one, Madam Speaker, as you heard from the other team of MCAs, who opts to send the approval of the budget to the group that illegally sits outside the county assembly premises. Madam Speaker, if we allow this to happen, then it's better we should have remained with the former pre-2010 constitution. Because, Madam Speaker, the 2010 constitution was supposed to address issues of impunity. What impunity can we talk of as a Senate, other than a situation where, Madam Speaker, and county assembly all sittings outside the parameters of the law goes on to process a budget, an appropriation is done, and money is withdrawn, and we don't see arrests, Madam Speaker. That is the highest level of impunity. If it can happen at the county assembly, Madam Speaker, the national government will also employ the same tricks, where we will say a team of members of National Assembly can go and sit somewhere else, pass a budget, and then money is withdrawn, Madam Speaker. I urge, Madam Speaker, the government institutions that have been cited in this recommendation, EACC and DCI, to move to Nyamira as soon as yesterday, Madam Speaker. Conduct investigations, Mr. Speaker, where arrests have to be made, let them be made, Madam Speaker, and those who must face the full force of the law should face the full force of the law. Madam Speaker, we are here to protect devolution. I have nothing personal against any group of MCAs in Nyamira. I have nothing personal against the governor of Nyamira, but it's in the interest of I, as Senator of Nyamira, and the other senators to ensure that we do not have a situation where impunity reigns in the county government of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, finally, Madam Speaker, as late as yesterday, even after the initial recommendation that was made by the committee, we are still having a situation where we have two sets of county assemblies, we have two sets of speaker, we have two sets of clerk, we have two messes in that assembly. It's something that we cannot be proud of as a Senate, Madam.
1 minute for him to finish.
Yes, that is something that we cannot be proud of, Madam Speaker. We have a role, Madam Speaker, of ensuring that there is sanity. And if this persists, Madam Speaker, if this persists, we should be more drastic in our recommendations, Madam Speaker, and ensure that no funds will go to the county government of Nyamira if the governor does not put his assembly in order. We cannot allow this degeneration of chaos, this negative reporting every day about a great county like the county of Nyamira. And I thank you for protecting Dr. Fred Matiang'i from the insinuations that were being made by Senator Okech that he could be part of the enterprise of Governor Nyaribo. He's a clean man, Madam Speaker, and we don't want him to be associated with the level of incompetence being displayed in the county government of Nyamira. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
He's done. Senator Tobiko for... No. There's no other senator, so Senator Tobiko is actually replying on behalf of the committee.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to reply on behalf of the chair and on behalf of the committee, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the situation in Nyamira is complex. Madam Speaker, as the House has now heard, that the
county assembly is divided into two, a group that is holding meetings outside the usual chamber, and another team, Madam Speaker, with a speaker, an MCA, a sitting MCA purported to be a speaker, Madam Speaker, and even court rulings that seems to complicate the situation further. Madam Speaker, let me say, members of the Committee of Devolution have listened carefully to the contributions of members. Madam Speaker, and for the comfort of the many members who have spoken and spoken passionately, the committee will take into consideration the views of members before doing the final report, Madam Speaker. And the committee is fully committed to protecting devolution, Madam Speaker, solving amicably disputes in the devolved units, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is, I'm sure it has come to the knowledge of this House that it's not only in Nyamira that we have had very complicated situations. We successfully brokered a peaceful situation in Trans Nzoia. Madam Speaker, the committee will work closely with JLAC on the arising legal issues. And Madam Speaker, I believe this House collectively, because the committee only sits on behalf of this House will collectively find a solution for Nyamira and for the other county assemblies or county governments that are having issues. And so we are determined, Madam Speaker, to listen to every view that has been given on this floor, and also we'll work very closely with JLAC, Madam Speaker. And for very obvious reasons, Madam Speaker, I will ask that the question be deferred to an appropriate time, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
It is so deferred. Next order. Senator Moruma?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. When I was presenting, I did mention the issue of Taita Taveta, and I would request you, maybe using the standing orders, not limited to standing order number 1, if you can direct that the Committee of Devolution follows up on the issue of County Assembly of Taita Taveta, because the acting speaker is acting for a while, and we need to know if how they are working really is legal, and we also get a report to that effect, Madam Speaker, all in the if you may maybe order, so that maybe they take over the issue. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Moruma, kindly prepare a statement to submit to the House so that the committee can pick it up. Because as Senator for Taita Taveta, I'm sure you have nitty-gritties that you would want the committee to pay attention to. So you can proceed, and we will guide the committee accordingly. Honorable members, we defer order number 8, 9, 10. Next order.
Order number 11, the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024, second reading, resumption of debate.
Senator Sigei.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Yesterday, when the House rose, I had begun to appreciate the Honorable Senator Eddie for a very well thought out legislation in seeking to support and create an opportunity for the current and future generations who are in the creative arts. And Madam Speaker just began laying out or laying down the economic value of the sector, both within the country and outside. And I further wish, Madam Speaker, to highlight the fact that creation of employment by streamlining this particular sector has really been one which, as a matter of fact, the global world has recognized lately. And the statistics I got, Madam Speaker, for instance, within Africa, is that South Africa, for example, the creative economy has availed to the job market over 679,000 job opportunities for the young and the old and all those who are involved in the creative industry. But interestingly, in Indonesia, Madam Speaker, the world statistics provides that 24 million Indonesians are actually employed within the creative sector economy. In Nigeria, we have got 3.2 Nigerians who have full-time employment, earning a greater living and establishing their future through this sector. 3.2 million, Madam Speaker, is such a great number that this particular legislation, the moment it streamlines the way we deal with those involved in this sector, we will be meeting the Kenyans by, on the one hand, ensuring that the agenda of establishing an opportunity for the youth, this is one of the areas which we will. And I appreciate Senator Eddie for recognizing that this sector needs to be needs a law to establish its procedures on how to manage, how to register, how to enhance growth, and by extension, how to unleash the full potential that is available in terms of identifying and nurturing those talents and also making sure that they monetize those talents and enhance the sustainable nature of this sector. Part of what the government previously has done, Madam Speaker, includes, for example, the Talanta Hela programs or the World Sports Day that the government has decided to decentralize it to our counties, where in those national days, there are a number of young Kenyans, whether they are in performing arts, they're in music industry, or any other creative aspect, they are allowed to perform at a fee. And I would like to say that once we have a law in place, the statements which, for instance, were made yesterday by Senator Mungatana, that those who performed in one of the functions in this county, upon their conclusion, decided to take the mic and say, we will not accept to be paid 10,000, or rather 5,000, but we would want to be paid 10,000. This bill, once it becomes law, will give an opportunity to those creative arts performers to know beforehand that we have negotiated for a certain amount, and therefore they are able to plan. So, Senator Eddie, from where you sit, know you have done a great deal to thousands and millions of Kenyans whose future are entirely reliant on their creative arts. And it also helps Kenyans and the young generation to appreciate that it is not only the white-collar job that will earn you a living. This, in fact, Madam Speaker, is where we are going to create a lot of job opportunities. In fact, part of the statistics which I picked is that the International Labour Organization, ILO, estimates that 1.4% of the global employment comes from the creative sector. That tells you we are dealing with a very lucrative area, a very futuristic law like this one will ensure that we streamline and make Kenyans and the global world to support their young ones who are keen on this. Where I come from, Madam Speaker, Bomet,